Hello everyone, JRD96 here with a brand new reaction. As you can tell by the title, it's another Jacksepticeye video, and it's I guess you could say a recap video that he recently did, talking about, you know, how he usually does a year-end video where he talks about how this year was horrible for me, this year was great for me, like, stuff like that. But this time he's talking about pretty much this past decade, because he started making his videos back in late 2012, and in that decade he became one of the biggest gamers and one of the biggest YouTubers on the platform. It's so crazy to think, like, look, I know I hate to always put myself into the mix, but I started making videos in 2011. Way before Mark and Jack did. But I wasn't as consistent as they were, because I had school and stuff like that. But yeah, like it's so crazy to think that I started doing YouTube videos in this past decade. It's crazy how they became famous in this past decade too. But anyways, I wanted to hear what he had to say about it, so let's get right into it. So without further ado, let's react to this video, shall we?
Isn't it weird to think that this is going to be the last video that I upload in the entire decade? The last video that
Look at that little beanie hat you got on, Jack.
Right now. That is a weird thought. Because as stuff goes by and as time passes and everything, we sit down and we're like, oh, it's the end of a decade. Like, that's such a big thing. And in a lot of ways it is, but in other terms, it means fucking nothing. Just because the decade is ending. It
didn't mean anything back in 2009 when 2010 came in.
The exact same thing. But there's a lot of psychological stuff that comes with the ending of a year every single year. And the ending of a decade is an even bigger thing, because we put these limits and these boundaries and these priorities and these objectives on ourselves to keep ourselves going, to give ourselves purpose, to give ourselves drive and motivation to figure out what we want to do next, what we want to leave behind, and what we want to change. But as we leave 2019, as we leave the decade, we hope that what we've done is something of worth, something of value, something we can look back upon fondly and do even better the next time around. It's a good reset switch, and I'm really leaning into that this time, because 2019 was a pretty good year for me.
Yeah.
It was very up and down, but yeah. I think at the end of it I have a net positive gain. That being said, there are some things that happened in 2019 that I am extremely proud of and really enjoyed, and I want to go over those. I want to do a look back on 2019, because I do this every year. Most YouTubers do. They do the recap of 2019.
I don't recap anymore.
Recap of kind of the decade as well. So it's probably going to get a little long-winded. Grab some snacks, pull up a chair, get your exercise balls.
So no worries.
I don't know what you're going to do. Watch this in the fucking bath for all I care. Just don't
watch this in the bath.
A little list for myself, because I'm terrible at remembering things.
Chris Jericho?
List making and organization is something that I want to get better at going into 2020. But let's go down through some of the things that happened on the channel. Some of the series we've had on the channel this year are Resi 2, my personal favorite game of 2019.
It's Resident Evil 2,
it was phenomenal.
2.
I really enjoyed it. It's very, I hate saying this, it's very video gamey. It has some like really arcadey elements to it that really made it fun to come back and play consistently and constantly, and I had so much fun doing it, and I'm glad you guys enjoyed it as well. We had Death Stranding, very divisive game that came out this year. I loved it. I thought it was great. The series itself, I had a great time playing. It was a nice, just kind of like shut off your brain for some times and just chat and hang out kind of game. And I'm really glad you guys liked that as well. We had Minecraft, of course.
Oh boy.
Can't believe it took me
Minecraft actually
freaking for the first time.
Minecraft became popular again because
it was so much fun. It was just a sandbox. Here, go, create whatever you want.
The game's been out for over a decade, and it's now getting trendy again.
Like a pile of Legos and go, oh, I could build this. my brain just shuts off when it gets too much stimulus. When it gets too much
I just
input,
don't understand why it just became
and, like, creative
popular
side
again.
kind of turns off because
It's
there's
been
too much
out
going
for over
on.
a decade. I get it.
But Minecraft was a great source of creativity for me. I'm so glad that I was able to build a
to the level where YouTube has to make it become Fortnite, where it's overexposed and oversaturated.
And I liked the series a lot. We had Kindergarten 2, a gangbuster as well. Got to bust out the voice acting. Got to have fun with that. I really like that. We had
not
meme
saying
time.
that Minecraft was instantly Fortnite.
Which I know not everyone is into the meme stuff, and everyone just wants their video games all the time because that's what I'm known for. But I like branching out. I like doing different things, and meme time seemed like a good way of doing that.
Meme time.
Because a lot of other people were doing meme series, and I really wanted to interact with the community more. And it just seemed like a really great crossroads for a lot of different things. And it allowed me to just kind of fuck around and improv a couple of jokes, and the same with the funniest home videos kind of stuff. I like that because it's a different form of content, and I like changing it up. I like trying out new things. They're not crazy unique or anything like that, but it's something that keeps recording fun for me, and if I don't keep it fun for myself, I'm not going to enjoy doing it anymore. So those kinds of series are the things that have kept me going. We had Nostalgia Week capping off which was not too recent. So fucking fun. I had so much fun going back and seeing all these old games, and it was a really great sort of mental exercise
actually
as well. Part of me wanted to recreate what it was in the heyday and do the same kinds of things, and some of that bled through, but I think it was nice going back and playing them as me now, as Sean in 2019. Hindsight's 2020, and that's the year we're going into. Get ready for a lot of those fucking jokes. Can't wait.
Get 2020 vision.
Isn't it weird how tomorrow's video, I haven't seen you guys in a whole decade? Chase. The Chase video came out this year. And
God damn.
It's one of those videos that I'm really, really proud of. If you look at it, you're like, 4-minute video. It's like, this doesn't seem that hard or anything. But there's a lot that went in behind that kind of video. Not just the video itself, but the lore and everything that's being built up on the channel for years now at this point. It's been like 3 years since like anti-stuff or ego stuff or any of that kind of stuff happened. If you've no idea what I'm talking about, then you're going to be completely lost for what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But we've had these characters on the channel that have kind of sprouted up out of nowhere from the community, and I've taken them and fully embraced them and tried to turn them into something so much more. And that again has been another really great crossroads for me, because I've always really been into... Video games are my number one passion in life. I fucking love them. If I'm not recording video games and doing them for my job, I'm just playing them in my spare time. I cannot stop thinking about video games all the time because they're amazing. They're a super great source of motivation and inspiration and creativity and just turning off your brain. And I love video games so much. They've meant so much to me my entire life growing up, and as a kid they were a great escape from what was a really boring, shitty life.
Yeah, and they were.
Just to be able to do more with them these days, to not have to go to a 9-to-5 regular job and then come home and be like, I don't really have time to play games now. To actually be able to fully embrace them into every facet of my life has been one of the greatest gifts that I feel like I've been given in my entire life, and I do not take it for granted at all. And the other passion that I have in life is movies. Now, I'm not someone who knows how to make a movie. I will hopefully try. I'm not someone who really knows how to write a script, but I will hopefully try. I'm not someone who knows the ins and outs of all the details of how movies are made and stories and all that kind of stuff. But I know what I like, and I know what works, and I know what doesn't work. And I'd like to think that I have a pretty good sense for narrative, pacing, editing, story structure, characters, all of that kind of stuff. And anytime I go to the movies, I have a lot to say about different types of movies, and I come out and I kind of review them with my friends, and we kind of get into conversations about them, and I love doing that. So when it comes to the Chase video, that was a really happy marriage of me being able to tap into this other side of me that I have really enjoyed for a very long time, and I've had so many ideas for, and then getting to put them out on camera and collaborate with Tucker on it and really create something that was very, very cool and unique. Uploading that video and waiting for people's reactions, I premiered that video, which I never premiered anything else on the channel.
Which to me I felt was kind of pointless. Count the live streams as premieres because they're scheduled ahead of time. But this is something that I premiered, and I was so nervous. It's the most nervous I have ever been in regards to my work. Wow.
And that sounds silly, but I really, really was, because it was something that was so different.
But trust me, I get nervous too
when I
did premieres.
And thankfully people really did and were really into it. And I got so many people, like even personal friends said they watched it and they were like, I need to know more. Like, what's going on? Who's this character? And that kind of stuff. And that's exactly what I wanted this to set up and start. And the chase video is the start of... I mean, it started a long time ago. It started back in 2016. But this is the first time when I've really tried to fully put a stamp on the narrative.
Chase started in 2017.
This is where the shit is going. And next year is something that I'm going to sit down, and that's a really big goal of mine next year, is to craft the Egoverse properly. It's been something that I've been teasing for a long time. I've tapped into it here and there, and I've laid some of the groundwork, and it's...
By teasing in a video in your playthrough,
and again,
Let's
if
Plays...
you haven't been into this stuff,
and
you've
then
missed a whole
not
shit
doing
ton of
shit.
stuff. So when the Chase video came out, you're like, what the fuck is going on? What's Chase? Is that a joke?
Who the hell is Chase?
Next year, I turned 30. And not only are we ending out this decade of the 2010s era, but going into 2020 is when I start the actual next phase of my life. You have all these different phases, and it comes in 10-year chunks. I'm in a really good place mentally. I feel like I'm ready to start this next phase and really start discovering who I really am, what my voice is, and just where it's all going. I'm not as insecure as I once was. I'm not as worried as I once was. I'm not as anxious as I once was. So I think this is a really good turning point for me, personally, to be able to do more confidently and not really worry about what's going on in the background. And I get to share it all with you as well and bring you all along. And I think that we can craft something really, truly special. Ooh, fun fact about that, and it actually ties into the next thing that I want to talk about, is that after the Chase video went up, okay, this is going to sound like I'm trying to brag or anything. I promise you it's not. This is just something that's really cool that happened that I lost my fucking fanboy mind over. After the Chase video went up, I was so relieved, after being so nervous that people wouldn't like it, or would like it, or how are they going to react, or where's it going to go. And then all of you loved it. I was like, okay, thank God. And then that night, I got a DM on Twitter from Ryan Reynolds himself saying that I was an amazing actor, and I fucking lost my mind.
Wow,
He's one of the
Ryan Reynolds loved it too.
And really,
you're amazing. Yeah.
Just enjoy everything that they do and highly respect. And
I heard about that. I thought that was awesome.
Just being a genuine person, and to hear that from him meant so fucking much to me, and it like brought tears to my eyes and everything. I don't know how to describe it. It was a really great feeling. Again, tying into the other stuff that happened this year was that I got to do a lot of the celebrity interviews, which have been so much fun to do. It's so outside my comfort zone. It's so completely different than what I do normally.
Tessa Thompson,
but it's been such a great way of interacting with this movie world that I love so much already. My main goal for those interviews and some of the other interviews I've done this year is to humanize things. That's why I did my tour. The story behind the tour is about humanizing what it is to be a YouTuber and interacting with the humanized elements of an audience instead of everyone just being one giant number and treating them as statistics. Doing the interviews with like Aaron, Matt Mercer, and Troy Baker was all about having a human conversation, not
those interviews,
just about
but not like
asking
the celebrity interviews
where you grew up and things like that. Those questions come in naturally, but it's about humanizing them to people. I wanted to get in and ask some different types of questions. I didn't want to... Sure, you have to sit in and you have to ask the general questions about the movie because you're technically there to promote the movie on your channel. That's the like give and take of it all. But at the same time, I like asking about them. Because I remember two specific interviews. One was with Ryan Reynolds again, and another one was with Chris Evans. And they talked about anxiety and fears and worries. And when you see people like this, you tend to think they have no fear. They have no worry. They have no anxiety because they're at the top of their game. Chris Evans is fucking Captain America. And Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool. And The Rock is The Rock. I look at them that way. And then some people said the exact same thing to me about getting up on stage and doing a show and doing YouTube and everything. And that was the impetus for the show, was because of conversations like that. And I'm like, no, I have no idea what I'm doing. I just yell all the time and have fun and hope that people watch, and I am riddled with worries and anxiety and fears all the fucking time. So doing the interviews then, this all sounds very fucking high and mighty and high horse and everything, but I promise that's not the reason for doing them.
Some people hate
just really like
interview videos.
Conversation. I like how people tick. I like how they work. I like hearing.
I like to hear stuff like that.
Just more about them as people. So doing that was a great way of crossing that path too with movies and that kind of conversational aspect that I really like. Kind of humanizing them and asking them about their worries and their anxieties and what they do to unwind and getting to know them more as people rather than just them as movie stars. And I know a lot of that can seem like gloating and like lording it over your heads and be like, look how great I am. I promise that's not what I'm trying to do. It's hard to talk about these things without making it seem like you're bragging. It's just been a really cool thing to be able to do, and I feel very, very fortunate that I do get to do it. And I just wanted to show that gratitude and appreciation for it, and hopefully there's some information in there and some sort of entertainment in them that you guys get something out of it as well, and it's not just all about me getting to meet these cool people. But going from that then into the next thing I wanted to talk about with the Ryan Reynolds stuff was that I get to be in fucking Free Guy.
Yeah, that movie.
The movie that Ryan Reynolds and Sean Levy are doing, and Joe Keery's in it too, who I also fucking love. That movie's coming out next year, I think in July, and a lot of you have seen the trailer by now, but I'm going to be in the movie in some capacity.
A cameo.
Which is absolutely mind-blowing. That, again, I love the movie world, and I love seeing how things work and getting involved in it and just...
I'm not going to see it, but I'm just waiting for some
I love stories. I love
HD video quality of his cameo. Like, people are going to do that.
Again, I'm trying to show off. It's just really fucking cool. I've talked a lot about cool shit that's been going on and cool series and stuff I've uploaded and everything, but the thing that I am most proud of this year is all of the charity efforts that we've been doing. I set out last year to do a charity stream every month. I didn't get to do it because I was touring at the same time. I went to LA for 3 months. I was going through a lot last year.
Of course.
More than I let on online because, again, I had to figure that shit out for myself. In totality, through this year alone, we raised $1.6 million.
Wow.
Which is no small amount of money.
No.
That is a fuck ton of money to be able to raise at all.
Over $1.5 million.
For so many different great causes has been the highlight of my entire year. Since January of last year, so we did, 18 streams then total? We raised $2.8 million.
Wow.
We got very, very close to $3 million raised since last year, and that's all through the live streams, through the pins, through all the merch all year round. All of the merch this year.
I'm still waiting from November, December.
Off. All of it has gone to all of the different charity events that we've been doing. In December alone, just gone, in this month alone, the stream we just did was our craziest stream ever by hitting $354,000 in 7 hours, I think.
Jesus.
Which is also absolutely bananas. To be able to sit down, like, all this other stuff is great. All this other stuff
raised $500,000 in just under 24 hours.
But to be able to give something back in the middle of all of this other crazy stuff that's going on has been my proudest accomplishment and the thing that I've been most into all year long and probably in the entire decade. I vividly remember what it was like to start off doing YouTube and to have nothing. I was living on benefits from the government. I didn't want to work. I didn't have anything going for me. All I had was like my PC and my games. When stuff really started to take off, I felt so unbelievably fortunate, but also that I didn't deserve any of it. But all of the time doing YouTube, I've always wanted to give back and do more with what we have here, that I felt like the world had given me so much at a point, and it kept showering me with like all of this praise and being able to do YouTube, being able to play video games as my job and everything. I was like, okay, what's the fucking catch? Stop! So I always wanted to give back, and I think these charity efforts have been a great way of doing that because, again, I've gotten so much from you guys and the world and been very, very fortunate in what I do that I want to give back in some capacity and try and leave the world a good place and put some sort of a stamp on things and really try and make some efforts towards, I keep saying it in the streams, that we may not be able to change the world as a whole. The world as a whole has no idea the amount of charity efforts and money we've raised this year. But that does not mean that you shouldn't try. that we have this small slice of the internet for ourselves. We have this small slice of the world for ourselves here with this audience.
It's worth trying to do.
Now, we can do more with it, and I've always felt that way. And until last year, I really kicked my ass to just get into gear and actually do it. And I've tried to pick some organizations that really align with some of my core beliefs. We've done some suicide prevention charities. We've done some mental health charities.
Pride Month.
We've done some disability charities for people who are sick in hospitals and giving them the ability to game while going through something difficult. Because
Pride
again,
Month as well.
Video games meant a lot to me growing up, and I was a fully able-bodied person. So to be able to give that gift to somebody who's going through something far more difficult than I ever did is amazing. And I've gone and I've seen some of the hospitals that... and just seen like the amount of really great work that people there are doing. We've done some stuff with Make-A-Wish, and I've met so many Make-A-Wish kids at this point who tell you their story, and it really opens up your mind and broadens it to the greater world and the afflictions that people are going through and what's really going on out there. And I really couldn't like turn a shoulder to that stuff anymore because so many people are going through so much.
To me, I
really just wanted to help out any way that I possibly could.
Make-A-Wish
the real heroes
kind of sounds intimidating to me.
The charity stuff is all of you guys, because I sit and I try and like entertain, or I try and bring a focal point to this thing every month, this charity and whatever's going on. But in reality, I'm just sitting there hoping that people are watching and hoping that they're listening and trying to encourage people to do a good thing. But you guys are the ones who have been doing the actual good thing. I contributed. You've been the ones
by buying these pins. That's what I planned. I wanted to do that year, at least buy all the
majority of that is all of you guys.
Even though I don't got
really
the last two.
They just need to have some sort of reason or a voice or a point of focus to really do it. And I'm so glad that we were able to do that. And I want to continue doing stuff like that next year. I don't think I'll do one every month. And the YouTube community in general have raised this year has been nothing short of a fucking miracle. The amount of money that's been raised for charity,
$20 million or something,
is fucking mental. And I'm so unironically so proud of the YouTube community for that. And I really feel like the YouTube community should get the recognition that it deserves for the amount of good that it does. Because a lot of people look at YouTube and say like, oh, you have the shitheads of the world and they're doing all of this stuff for narcissism and for their own personal gain and selling merch and like swindling kids and being con artists and all that stuff. That stuff does exist, but in the grand scheme of YouTube, that is such a small sliver. It's just a very loud minority of the YouTube community. But the amount of good that YouTubers and YouTube itself does for people is outstanding. And that's why I'm very proud to be able to do this as my job, because the amount of good you can do with it and the amount of responsibility that's on you and what you like, the potential for it is bananas. Anyway, I'm rambling, but I'm really damn proud of all of the amazing charity efforts that you guys did this year and helped me with. So thank you. Honestly, just from the bottom of my heart. It's been amazing to see. And it made me proud to be a YouTuber.
It was insane that you were reaching your goals a lot.
I don't know. It's hard to put into words because it's so surreal, but just honestly, thank you very, very much. So what are the goals for 2020? What's the New Year's resolution? I don't think I have a resolution this year, because I realized that putting one resolution on myself every year is very limiting. I can do so much more, and I don't think that I should have one core belief for the entire year, because let's face it, a year is a long time. Stuff changes day to day, month on month. You're going to be in a different headspace all the time. So next year, what I want to do is to just try more to be more creative. I want to try to craft something more creative.
That's what I want to try to do this year.
Personally, and just do something that I can really put my stamp on, be super fucking proud of it. Really just kind of blow the lid off what people think of me and what I am potentially able to do. I feel like I have so much more to give creatively and so much more to open up in my head that I really just haven't not tapped into at all yet. In regards to work ethic itself, I really not only want to work harder, but work smarter, to really organize my time better. That's the other thing that I want to do. I need to organize my time better and be more creative within those hours that I craft for myself. I've really let a lot of stuff slide. My organizational skills in regards to my videos, my organizational skills in regards to my like personal life. Some of the rooms in my house are a fucking mess, and I kind of just leave it there because I need to get a video done.
Sounds like me.
I've let myself, like, health-wise deteriorate a lot in this latter half of this year. I'm probably the heaviest weight-wise that I've been. My tinnitus flared up and is fucking kicking my ass every single day. Overall, get myself back into, like, I'm not sad about it. I'm not upset about it. I'm not in a bad place mentally because of it, but I can be in a better place, I think, with not that much more effort. I'm good at getting my videos done, but all my other time management suffers for it. I'm very, I don't know, what's the thing I'm looking for? Whenever things have to be organized so well, it's overbearing on me, and I just turn all of it off, and I just organize nothing. So I want to get a little better at that, and just, I need to. If I want to do the projects that I want to do next year, if I really want to write this ego thing, and really make it something that I'm truly proud of, and if it turns out the way I want it to, it's going to take a lot of time and effort and hard graft to get that done and to a place that's worth showing. So I really need to take the time and focus. Another thing I've realized about turning 30 is
time.
It's easier to know who I am first, be more confident in who I am, which in turn leads to being able to say no to a lot more. I don't want to be buried by audience pressure either, because that, not to like shit on the audience or anything, but just saying your praises about the charity stuff. 99.9% of you are absolutely amazing, will watch all the stuff I upload and are super supportive, and it's awesome. It's great. It's the best thing in the world because I can just do whatever I want and people are there like, yeah, good on you. But there's this small group of any audience that's large that are just kind of like a worm in the back of my head, and for so long I've let that worm kind of eat up my brain apple and really just take up residence and really let it dictate how I'm doing a lot of things. So if you've ever seen me really get bummed out on what I'm doing or lose energy or really just not be in the mood, a lot of it is probably because of that, because I'm too much of a people pleaser and I really want people to like me. I don't know, something clicked this year where I'm like, I don't care that
when
much.
you hired that one editor?
Because in my head it was like, I think going to therapy helped a lot. I think in my head it was, if I don't care about pleasing people in my audience all the time, that means I'm going to make bad videos or something. It was a really weird disconnect. And then as soon as I realized that, I'm like, that's not how it is at all. I really want to get better at just, like, pulling the lid off and just being like, what is in here? What can we do? Sure, gaming is the main thing that I do, but it shouldn't be the only thing that I do. It's so boring. And I've played so many shitty games this year just because, I need to play video games. It's like, nah, fuck that, man. Do whatever you want. Make whatever types of videos you want. If your audience really care about you and really want to be there for you and follow along, they will. I'm not going to stop doing games. That's not what I'm saying at all either. I just feel like there's so much more fun stuff that we can be doing, and then have games as like an extra fun thing in the week as well. So let's just, I don't know. Again, creative side. Let's explore that a little bit. Let's see what we can.
Kind of sounds like what I want to be doing.
Really fucking fun 2020.
I don't want to just do reaction videos.
Knock it out of the park and
that.
Not have any sort of limits and boundaries on ourselves and what we can do and what we can make. And that goes for you guys as well. Like, make art, write stories, do fan fiction, make GIF edits, make video edits, do whatever the fuck you want.
Not the kinky ones.
And even if no one looks at it, and even if nobody watches it, who gives a shit? Just make it for yourself and have fun with it. That's what I want to do.
Calm down, cool kinkers.
Shit. As I keep saying, I've done this for 7 years. I've ridden the high slope. I've had my moment in the sun where the channel was really fucking popping off and everyone was talking about it. It was great. Numbers were huge. But I can't be chasing that golden goose all the time. Sometimes you need to, like I keep saying, climb another mountain. Figure out what else you can do. You don't just climb Everest and then go back home and be like, I did that, let's give up. Climb another mountain. See what else is out there for you. There's lots of mountains to climb. Anyway, this got very rambly and very all over the place, and I have no idea if it's a fucking cohesive video at all. But that was my 2019. The decade is wrapping up. I am so ready for the next decade, and not in any sort of like, fuck the last decade, I hate it, let's go on to the next one already. Because for me, this is the best decade of my life. This has been, without a doubt, the best 10 years I have ever existed on this earth. And I really want to remember the fucking great things that have happened. I started my YouTube channel this year. This decade. I started it this year. I'm doing very well for myself. I started my channel this year, or this decade. Fuck!
You did it again.
Every one of you who are watching this video
in 2012.
only found out about me or even know me because of this decade.
Yeah.
All the stuff that I have right now in my life, everything in this room, the house that I'm in, the people that I know, the friends that I have, are all because of this exact decade. It's so bizarre to think about. So there is no way that I could say that this has been a bad decade. This is a fucking 20 out of 10 decade for me. It's been phenomenal.
With highs and lows.
I'm so grateful for it. I have so much energy and life and love and positivity to give that I'm just ready to hug every fucking person in the world and have fun. I've dwelled in the last 2 years, stuff started to get a little too like this year alone. I know I said I'm going to end the video, but I'm going to drop some more on you because if you're fucking here,
sounds like me. I go on and on and on in milk time.
Businessy I have ever thought about doing my YouTube channel, and I hate it. That started this process of thinking about numbers and metrics and analytics and titles and thumbnails and descriptions and all this shit that I didn't really think about that much before because I was just having fun with it and it didn't matter. And I don't like that I've started to go down that road this year. There's nothing wrong with looking at metrics to make sure that your channel is healthy and happy and going in a good direction. It's a very good way of keeping things going. But if you're creating for the metrics, you're not creating for fun. And that was the divide that I started to realize was happening to me.
I don't look at numbers. I just put them up and I hope that people watch.
It'll be an interesting year. I'm very, very excited to see what happens. I'm excited to turn 30. I don't know.
Oh God! In a month.
I have this really great coming out of the water feeling. Where
I'm in a month, you'll be 30 years old.
Finally ready to just breathe and run. I don't know. It's hard to describe, and I have no idea what the turning point was for me. But I'm just so ready. Anyway, that does it. Thank you guys so much for watching this. If you watched the whole thing, you're an absolute trooper. I rambled a lot, but that's what these videos are for. Who cares? It's free content. Why would you fucking complain about it?
This is content.
If you want to complain about free content that YouTubers are uploading on the internet, just go somewhere else. Not to say you can't criticize if someone does something bad, but at the same time, I see so many people criticize such inconsequential content on YouTube. Not even mine, everybody's. And I'm like, oh God, you're sitting at home not doing anything else, and you're the one who spent your time watching this. What am I talking about? I don't know. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this. I hope that you had a fantastic holiday season. If you don't celebrate Christmas, that's absolutely fine. The Christmas time of year is just a great time anyway, because everyone's in a much better mood. Everyone's ready to be cozy, nice. But I really hope that you had a great year. And if you didn't, I am very sorry to hear that. And I hope that next year treats you better. And if it doesn't, then try for the next year. And if that doesn't, keep on trying. That's the most important part. Let the cards fall where they are, pick them up, and carry on. As long as you keep trying and keep fighting and keep moving, that's the important part. That means you're trying your best and no one can ask better of you. I also hope that you have a really great New Year's. Please take care of yourselves. Be safe. Drink responsibly. Don't drink and drive. All of that good stuff. Do not do... If you want to do some drugs or anything... this is going down a dark path. Just be safe. Please. For the love of God. We see so many stories every year of people going overboard on New Year's because they want to go into the next year a better person, so they feel like they have to do a shitty thing at the end of the year to contrast it and just get it out of the system. Just be responsible. If you're celebrating on your own, I hope that you have a great time anyway. Being on your own does not mean it is not a bad thing. I spent a Christmas on my own 2 years ago. It was miserable. I felt super depressed, but I came out of it clearer. It had a very good purpose because I needed to go through that, and people need friction. People need a struggle. Life is about struggles, but overcoming them. Life is Bloodborne. Can you believe we got the best game ever this decade? Apart from Shadow of the Colossus, but I played Bloodborne a lot more. But yeah, I hope that you just had a good year, and if not, I hope 2020 is better, and I hope that this decade is a really great decade for you. Try some new stuff. Test your boundaries, test your limits, get outside your box, get outside your comfort zone, and just have fun with it. Just have a really great decade. Some of you are probably coming into your more formative years this decade, and that is a great time to discover yourself. Just go out there and see what you have to offer the world. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next decade.
Alright. Simple and just informative and stuff like that, but wow. So pretty much he was talking about like the highlights of mostly this year. Well, not this year, 2019. His Let's Play series he did this year. Like he did Resident Evil 2, Death Stranding, Minecraft, which I still don't understand why Minecraft is just re-emerged out of the grave of obscurity to come back. Well, I'm not saying it was dead. Like it still has an active community and everything for the right and wrong reasons. And like all of a sudden, like then 2019 alone, where it just became how Fortnite ended up becoming popular because of how overexposed and oversaturated it becomes on YouTube. Not saying that Minecraft is the new Fortnite. Not saying that. But I mean, in terms of how oversaturated and overexposed it is on the platform. And that's one of the main issues I have with the platform, with YouTube itself. It's not organized. They just shuffle everything together and expect it to be okay. And no wonder why not a lot of indie games or other games are like, don't get that much attention, because you have a lot of other people playing Minecraft or Fortnite or Anthem or whatever other game that they're playing that's mostly oversaturated on the goddamn platform. When you look on YouTube, the first thing you'll probably see is Minecraft, Fortnite, Minecraft, Fortnite, Minecraft, Roblox even. Like, stuff like you just see like how it's not really that organized. And Jack talked about that when he did all those celebrity interviews, he wanted to not just ask the usual questions, but more ask about themselves and like how they deal with anxiety and stuff like that. Try to kind of relate in a sense, which I found more interesting, seeing how some of these celebrities answered those questions, even though I don't remember a damn word they said. But still, I found whatever they said interesting when I actually did hear it. But I honestly like those celebrity interviews. I think it's kind of awesome too that he is able to interview these big stars, even some that I know well and stuff. Like, hell, like, it's ironic enough that the celebrity interview thing technically kind of started, I think, in 2018 when he interviewed Jason Momoa for Aquaman. But he really took off with the interviews in 2019 when he interviewed a bunch of people. Like, he interviewed Tessa Thompson and Chris Hemsworth for MIB International, which ended up becoming a huge flop. He interviewed I almost said Spider-Man. Well, he interviewed Tom Holland, Zendaya, and the guy who plays Ned for Spider-Man Far From Home. He interviewed... who else? I know he interviewed Jack Black, Karen Gillan, The Rock, Kevin Hart, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Linda Hamilton. I'm pretty sure I'm missing somebody else. But he interviewed a lot... Oh, Brad Pitt and Margot Robbie. So, yeah, he interviewed a lot of celebrities this year. And then he talked about the Chase video. And how, like, he talked about, like, how nervous he was when he did the premiere for it. Like, yeah, I can understand. I can totally see why he would be that nervous, because, again, you think it would be good, but at the same time, you kind of have this little doubt in your head going, what if they don't get it? Like, that's what going back to what I did this year, in 2019, when I did those miniature ego mini videos that I did. The thought that went through my head when I first came up with these random video ideas that I randomly came up with if I'm saying to myself, like I always had this doubt when I put it together and I watch it over and over and just be amazed at what I did. I always say to myself, will people get it? Like, will my fans understand what's going on? Stuff like that. Like, that's how I was feeling, and honestly, I was like, will they like it? Will they get it? Like, the one I was really nervous was, like, I was really more nervous with the one where I have a panic attack, quote unquote. Because I wasn't sure on how people would react, and I was really expecting a lot of negativity for it, because I was expecting some people going, that's not how a panic attack is. But I was really nervous because, again, also, here's an interesting fact, like, as of now in my life, at 23, I don't recall ever having a panic attack as of yet. So it was more interesting to try to have one, pretend to have one, for a video or acting wise. So, and I told that to people, I said that to some people, and like I explained it to some people, and they even said, yeah, I think you did fine, like, because they even explained, like, yeah, panic attacks can be different for a lot of people. And I did fine. Well, I based it off Hank Schrader's panic attacks in the show Breaking Bad. That's where I based it off of. So that was like one of the highlights this year for me was really those little miniature ego videos. Oh, other than that, some of the mostly just reaction videos and unboxings that no one watches. I kind of like stopped doing gaming in 2019. Mostly, it's not mostly because, I think one of the big reasons is not a lot of people watch them. But also at the same time, it's also because of technical issues that I have. And one of the main problems I have with recording game footage is sometimes my capture device decides to act like it wasn't recording at all and doesn't save the actual raw footage. So, and also that my computer is a hunk of garbage. And I have a brand new computer buried somewhere, and I still haven't used it yet. And there's a reason why I haven't, because I'm waiting for the right time to buy a new capture device so I can start using it. And you know what I mean? I want to improve. I want to get back into gaming videos again. But at the same time, I'm like, should I go back to playing Call of Duty again? Like that's pretty. Like, I get it. Maybe I should start to expand my library of gaming videos. Like, I don't know if I want to do Let's Plays. Like, I don't want to do Let's Plays mostly. I want to have fun. Like, I want to have do videos like, you know how Vanos or stuff like that. Like I've always said, I've always wanted to do a Let's Play of certain games I like. Like I said, I've always wanted to do a Let's Play of the original Metroid Prime. And the Spider-Man 1 and 2 from the PS1. I've always said that in my life, in the past, that I've always wanted to do Let's Plays of those games. But I don't want to be doing Let's Plays as a profession like how Jack and Mark have done it for most of their YouTube careers. I want to obviously again, I want to expand. I'm hoping this year in 2020, I want to expand more than just doing reaction videos. I'm not saying that I kind of am getting bored of doing reaction videos, but I want to not, I don't want to be known as just a reactor. I want to be known for many other things, like being a gamer and just other stuff. You know, I don't want to be just known for just doing reaction videos. I want to expand my videos catalog a little bit. It's so funny, like, the only thing that kind of does well is, well, I hate bringing up numbers, but the only thing that does really well is just reaction videos in general. Like, probably the most successful video for me this year was pretty much the Who Killed, the Heist with Markiplier videos. Well, the part 1 in particular. Got over 10,000 views, which is insane. But another video that did extremely well in 2019 was my reaction to Madness Combat 11, which was something I'd been anticipating for over 7 years at that point. So I was surprised that a lot of people, I was not expecting a lot of people to watch that, but then all of a sudden it just went up, and I'm like, the fuck? I'm like, okay. And then there's this debate in the comments section about reaction videos and stuff like that, which is kind of weird. Like, honestly, like, who cares, really? Like, honestly, I don't really care. Like, again, I get it, why people would bring that up and stuff like that. I try to be, like, make it not just me standing there looking at a TV screen and having a video in the corner and call it a day, like most reactors would. But I want to interject some commentary while the video plays. I want to laugh and enjoy instead of just standing there like a fucking robot, like Sad Affleck, and just watch the video. Transformative. That was what I was trying to think of the word to use, and I couldn't think of it for some reason. Transformative. I want to be transformative with these types of videos, with reaction videos in particular. But overall, who knows? I try not to plan out a lot with videos and like ambitions, because usually whenever I do, a lot of bad things start to happen. Like, a lot of bad luck for me. Like, I tried that one time, and then I had to spend a lot of money on buying a new car. And then last year, I had to spend a lot of money on repairing my car. So that's just, I just don't do it. I just randomly do it and expect it to be okay, which most cases it's not. But anyway, I try. You know what I mean? It's unfortunate that I have to deal with stuff like that, but at the same time, like, it's part of life. You always want to accomplish and do certain things and buy certain things, but then you're starting to save up for it, and then this bad luck happens, and misfortune, and crazy stuff happens. It's just like, it sucks. Life sucks. But some ambitions I have for 2020, in a sense, is try to expand my video catalog instead of just doing mostly reaction videos. I wanted to also try to start doing gaming videos again. Maybe get back into creepypastas again. Like, stuff like that, and also maybe get better equipment finally, instead of having my videos look like they were made in 2006. Finally start using my new computer. I have a lot of, and also try to do some more ego videos, because yeah, I kind of have this little storyline going on between JR Die and Wikipedia, but I don't have all the tools to make that happen yet. I want to wait for the right time to do that. When I'm ready and I have the right tools and the right software and the right things to do that, then hopefully that happens. But Can't promise that it will happen in 2020. But anyways, I think I've rambled long enough, and I milked a lot of time out of this, like how Jack did for this video. But overall, I think it was interesting to see him talk about how all the interesting stuff that he did this year, especially with some of his Let's Play series that he did, some of the types of videos he done, the one video he did for Chase Brody. Like, the one thing I kind of found weird is, like, he's talking about, oh, I started all this in 2016. Chase kind of debuted in 2017, but I understand what he means. He started doing ego-related videos in 2016. I get it. But Chase didn't appear until 2017. That's the issue. Like, I get it. I understand what he means, but still, I just kind of found that weird the way he said it. I'm like, not really. But, you know, I understand what he means. But overall, I was interested about how he was talking about all the charity work that he did this year, and how he wanted to do a charity stream every month, which he kind of did, except for November. He couldn't do one for November, but he made a pin for November. So yeah, that's like the only... He did most of the months. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I kicked my table. Trying to move my chair back. But overall, that was an interesting... I really wanted to listen to what he was saying and not just talk over him. So sorry if it wasn't as entertaining as you would expect, but what are you going to do? It's a reaction video. But overall, I thought it was really interesting to see. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's reaction. I rambled on long enough. If you made it through this, you're a trooper. Thank you. So, if you like what you saw here, hit the like button, subscribe, share this video with your friends. Be sure to ring that bell to be part of the notification squad. Be sure also to check out my Instagram because I make Colette's and Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, even myself. I also do reenactments and cosplays on there, so go check it out. Be sure also to check out my Tumblr and my Discord in the description as well. So until next time, JRDL96 signing out, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.